Setting up the universal sheet pile threader. The universal sheet pile threader can be adjusted to fit practically any U, Z or straight web pile section. To do this, the rollers need to be adjusted to ensure the threader runs securely on the pile. Some other simple adjustments are required to hold the pile to be threaded in the correct position. First, let's set the roller positions. This can be done on a pitched pile or on an offcut, as we have used here. Taking the lower section of the universal sheet pile threader, release the swinging arm clamp bolt. The two roller supports on this arm have adjustment to compensate for varying pile thicknesses. Turn the roller adjustment screw and clamp screw to their maximum setting as shown. Now offer the lower section to the pile with the swinging arm facing towards the pan of the pile and tighten the swinging arm clamp bolt. You may find it useful to support the lower section on a piece of timber as shown. To compensate for pile thickness, adjust the two roller supports on the swinging arm. The aim is to achieve a nice snug fit on the pile. Then move the roller supports away from each other to give maximum stability. Make sure that the lower section is pushed towards the pile whilst doing this adjustment to ensure the best results. You will notice that one of the roller supports has an additional third small roller. The purpose of this is to run on the outside of the clutch and in doing so provide additional stability. So move this arm towards the clutch until light contact is made. Move the remaining roller support outwards for increased stability. You should now be able to move the lower section up and down the pile by hand, and it should be a secure fit. If this is not the case, make adjustments to the rollers to achieve the correct result. The lower section and rollers are now set for a left and right hand thread. Now the upper section needs to be set so that the pile is held in the correct position for reliable threading. Start by loosening the 6 bolts on the underside. Then insert the spigot of the upper section into the socket of the lower section and secure. The upper section should have the vice screw facing towards the pan of the pile. Now is a good time to loosen the bolts that fix the guide and steady. If you have the Dawson construction plant setting dimensions for the pile section being used, the guide and steady are the only items remaining to set. If for whatever reason the setting dimensions aren't available to you, the upper section can be set using a small 200mm long offcut. For the best results, the cut faces of the offcut need to be square with a reasonable finish. Thread the offcut down into the vice block and tighten the vice screws. Tighten up the 6 clamp bolts. The vice block has now been set in the correct threading position. Now is a good time to check the smooth but secure operation of the threader. Push the steady into near contact with the pile and tighten the bolts. Do the same with the guide. Both the steady and guide provide additional support to the threader when in operation. The vice stop positions the pile to be threaded in the vice block. Push this into light contact with the pile and tighten the collar. This dimension can be obtained from the Dawson construction plant setting data. A quick check can be made by simulating a threading operation. The only item now not set for the opposite hand of thread is the guide and steady on the other face of the upper section. The lower section is turned through 180 degrees and placed onto the other clutch of the pile. Note, as always, the swinging arm facing towards the pan of the pile. As before, the guide and steady are pushed into light contact with the pile and tightened. The guide is positioned with the vise in the forward or threading position.
Tighten this one. Done. I'll cock it now.
Congratulations! The universal sheet pile threader is now set fully for your pile section for both the left and right hand thread.